Hey lovelies, how's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with a trending topic about a TikTok user revealing the time she rented out her Mercedes Benz on Turo, but the car ended up being sold on OfferUp for $27,000 while being rented. Adrienne is a creative, entrepreneur, and LA realtor. In a series of follow-up videos, Adrienne detailed an encounter in depth to caution others. She noted that she and her boyfriend do Turo. If you're unaware, Turo is a company that allows car owners to rent their vehicles through an app. Adrienne said that she received a ride request from a man. Although she noted a few red flags, one being that the customer's account was flagged by Turo, she still confirmed the trip because it was a substantial trip that was 8 days.
All right, so you guys asked for the story of how we ended up having to steal our car back after it was stolen and sold on OfferUp. Okay, so Kyrie and I, my boyfriend, we do Turo. So we get a trip request from a guy, let's call him David, right? So red flag number one, I go to approve the trip and it gets flagged by Turo for an account issue. So David and I go back and forth about 5 or 6 times and he's trying to book it. I'm trying to approve it. He's like, oh, the money's just not in my account. Yeah, it didn't post, blah, 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 blah. And normally I would have been over it at this point, but it was a pretty substantial trip. It was like 8 days. So finally everything gets worked out. Boom, he picks the car up from concierge. And 7 days go by, and the night before the trip is about to end, we get this message.
The night before the renter was supposed to return the vehicle, the couple received a message from him explaining that he rented out the car for someone else who hasn't been responding to him.
It's like almost midnight. It's the night before David's trip is supposed to end, and we get this message from him. Hey, so I'm freaking out. The person I rented the car for isn't responding. We were under the impression that the car was for David and David only. So immediately, oh my God. Okay, so immediately, like, we checked the trackers. We are out of the door. So we drive 30 minutes. We don't know where we're pulling up to, whose house this is. We just know, like, we're getting our car back. We were ready for whatever. So like you saw in the video, Kyrie gets the car. We pull over to a gas station just to make sure that everything looks good. And that's when we realized, like, yo, somebody was really, like, trying to keep this car. Like, it was personal items in there. They had really made it their own.
Adrienne said that she found an invoice for a smog test, which suggests that someone was attempting to register the vehicle.
We found, new seat covers in the car, new floor mats. And that's really unusual for someone to be doing if it's just like a Turo trip, like those are signs that they made this their car, right? And we also found an invoice for a smog test with the name Kevin Morales on it. So remember that. So we thought, okay, this Kevin Morales person is probably the person that David, let use the car, and Kevin was trying to keep the car. So, it doesn't make a difference to us now. We have our car back. We got paid for the trip. It's whatever. So it's the next day, and Kyrie gets a call from a police detective from LAPD. So the detective said he's following up on a stolen car report. We did not report the car stolen because we had gotten it back. We really didn't know the full scope of what had happened. So the detective asked us to tell our story. We told him about David, the trip, the message he sent, blah, blah, blah. And the detective just starts cracking up laughing. We're like, what the hell is so funny? So apparently this Kevin Morales person is a scammer. They've been investigating him for over a year. He's been scamming people by, getting cars and putting them for sale on OfferUp. So the person that called the detective was the person whose house we took the car from. They bought the car from Kevin Morales for $27,000 off of OfferUp. And when they woke up the next morning, that car was gone. So they called the cops. But my thing is, like, how did you expect to get a 2018 Mercedes from OfferUp for $27,000? It's not making sense. So now you're out of $27,000. You're out of a car. You realize you got scammed. and Mr. Kevin Morales is nowhere to be found. And David, do you guys think that he was in on it? Do you think he knew that he was being used? Because we spoke to him and he made it seem like, oh, he didn't know him that well. He thought he was a friend. They just played basketball together, and that he was basically the victim in the situation. He was used. But I feel like he got a cut of that $27K. What do you think?
The couple later revealed that they believe the renter was in on the scam.
Oh, for sure. He was definitely in on it. But you know what I find to be weird? So every time before we have a trip, we ask for them to send us their driver's license. So David sent his driver's license and he sent his passport and a video of himself talking. Too much. You know, we're texting. He's texting a photo of his ID, his passport, blah, blah, blah. So like all this time we're talking through text. Now, I thought it was super strange that when he decided to tell us that his friend or whoever he had gave the car to wasn't responding, he sent that as a Turo message. I believe he did that to alleviate himself of any wrongdoing, to make it look like he was really trying to, you know, reach out to us and get this resolved, blah, blah, blah. So because David was sending all this identification and videos and stuff, I even saw his Instagram, we know who he is and what he looks like. But the detective said that the Kevin Morales person was using a fake ID with his picture on it. So
David got a scamming ass Instagram too.
Several people even comment sharing similar experiences on the app. One TikToker explained how she was scammed out of her money when she rented a rental in LA.
Guys, so I'm gonna give you a quick little story time about Turo, so maybe you guys won't make the same mistake that I did. When you're renting a car through Turo, please take pictures of the inside of the car. I always took pictures of the outside just for, scratches, damages. So this is the business card of the guy that the car I rented, Stephen, in Union County, New Jersey. His Instagram is up there. His Turo tag is up there. Guys, do not rent with him. This is the car that I rented from him, the Acura TLX 2021. As you can see, guys, I have the car for 5 days. I spent a total of $600. $600 with this man, y'all. So after finally returning the car, guys, everything was good. I dropped it off he said drop it off to his team member. I guess they have a lot of cars on Turo. They work together, so I dropped it off to someone else. And the guy checked out the car. He looked at everything. Only thing he was telling me that I left in the car was my pocketbook. So I said, is everything good? He said, okay. I walked off. The next day I wake up, I received this email telling me that I smoked in a car, a violation. They deactivated my account and that I will be charged a bill. Remind you guys, I do not smoke. I do not be around anyone who smokes. So immediately after receiving that email, I text him. I just said, hello, this is such and such. I rented your car. You gave me a smoking charge. I don't smoke. I just spent $600 on your car. Like, why would you basically say I smoked in your car? All right, so at this point, I'm just realizing he wanted extra money, even though I just spent $600. He asked me, do I have pictures of the inside of the car? Which I didn't. I told you guys I only took pictures of the outside, and he knew that. He knew I didn't have pictures of the inside. So guys, at this point, I'm furious. This is like my 7th time reaching out to support. He didn't write me back. Stephen didn't write me back on the text messages. So this is my 7th time reaching out to support because it's the day before Mother's Day. I planned on renting another car just another cute car just to hang out with my friends for Mother's Day. And I couldn't do that because my account is restricted. They didn't give me a way to dispute the charge. They just made a final decision because he said I smoked in his car.
And another TikToker explained how she was flagged for false damages.
I went to LA from a Friday to Monday. This is the Jeep that I got. When I went to go pick it up, it was smooth. It was 10 of us. 5 of us got the yellow one. The other 5 got the green one. The pickup was so smooth. The people were so nice. They explained everything. It was really good. We were so excited when we got the Jeep. Like, look, we outside. Hey, LA, we here. Fast forward to Sunday night. We went to Target. And then we get back in the car from Target, and this is what the car is doing. It's not working. So I call the man. I'm like, hey, the car won't start. He sent somebody to come and jump the car. The guy get there. He put in the tag number on the car. Why come up in the system as a Ford Fiesta with a whole different VIN number? Like, so y'all got me out here driving an illegal car with illegal tags, and y'all got me as a black girl out here driving this. What if I would have got pulled over? So anyway, the next morning we trying to get to the airport. The car don't start again, and this time the check engine light is on. So we call the guy again. He sent somebody to tow it. The guy had to jump it twice in order to turn it on, to put it on the tow truck, right? So I had to pay a $60 lift to get me from the house to the airport when I was supposed to had a car. I paid for the car for all of this time. I asked them for the money back. They like, oh, we can't reimburse you. Why? This is y'all fault that I had to pay for this. If I supposed they had to rent a car. So they disabled the car while they did their little, investigation or whatever. The guy got the car back, fixed it, went and filled up the gas tank, and then charged my car $40 for the gas he put in the gas tank, talking about I didn't refill it up to where it was supposed to be. Then they charged me $70 for the tow and the roadside assistance. How the can y'all do that? How can y'all do that?
This is wild, but this is not my first time hearing something like this. I like keeping y'all in the know, so just make sure you use discernment when you are using these apps and when you're renting out your personal items. These scammers are really doing a lot these days. You guys, let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Have you ever went through an experience like this? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys. And with that being said, don't forget to check on your loved ones.
So I've been seeing this question a lot, and people asked, were we going to continue to do Turo even though our E400 was stolen? And the answer is yes, we are. Kyrie and I have 5 cars on the platform. They're all convertibles. If you want to check them out, you can follow us on Instagram at Cali Convertibles. But our experience with Turo has been okay. This isn't the first time that something like this has happened. Unfortunately, when we first started the business back in December, someone tried to keep one of our cars, and that's how we learned that we have to absolutely have trackers. So we found that the experience then, they were on top of it. They, were super responsive. But now that some time has passed, we have more cars. We've had claims and things. People have damaged the cars. We find that the more you reach out to them for help, the less helpful they become, sadly. So we've actually learned a lot over these last couple months. Would I recommend it as a side hustle? Yeah, if you're down to put in the work. It's not anything easy. When we got our first car, we realized between deliveries and keeping the car clean and just staying on top of stuff, on top of our books, it surely became a full-time thing and not just a side hustle. So I hope that answers your question. Let me know if you have any more.